Welcome to another episode of the Visualize and Create video podcast. My name is Martine Cadet. I am your host, and I make sure on a daily basis that I curate amazing individuals to come on to support you with your journey, whether it's your business that you want to scale, whether it's your business you want to start because you can, or anything in between, because life is a moving target and there's a lot of things that we have to go through. But the good news is you're tuned in, and my guest today is going to inspire you to know that not only can you have that business, but you can thrive with that business with a great marketing strategy we're going to create. And so let's get started. You are listening on your favorite podcast provider, or perhaps watching this show on your big TV screen. Regardless, I'm excited to have you. My name is Martine Cadet, and I am the host of the Visualize and Create show. You will be able to meet amazing individuals that are going to inspire you, motivate you, and give you the tools for you to visualize and create whatever it is that you want. Make sure you check out the show notes and share this with a friend. Hi, Michelle. I'm so excited to have you on the show today. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you, Martine. I'm super excited to be here.
Wonderful. Listen, I am so excited to have this conversation with you because before we tuned in, I shared with you, I'm also in the space of marketing, and I get so pumped up to meet other marketing gurus out there. And so we're going to have a great conversation about marketing. I have so many questions for you. But before we get started on the whole using marketing and what your expertise is when it comes to that, tell us a little bit about your starting point. How did you get started in business altogether? Give us some inspiration.
Oh, you want the whole story? Oh, okay. So I'm Michelle Nedelec. I am the creative director of Awareness Strategies, and it's a company that my partner in life and in business, Brad Mooney, started. And to back up the bus a little bit, I was an instructor or a speaker for personal development, helping people understand how their minds work and how they create success. And I needed somebody to do my tech, and he did all my tech. So once upon a time, he was at the point where he was done his contracts in big oil and gas companies setting up software for them. He usually worked on 3-year projects, being able to set up their tech and all that fun jazz. And I was at the point where I needed to go online. Our audience wanted us to go online, and personal development per se doesn't translate well online. So I had to figure out how I wanted to reposition myself, whether it was in the realm of confidence or a speaking trainer or whatever it was. I had the aptitude. We just needed to adjust the marketing. And I said to him, well, clearly there's an issue with people getting their tech done, because we were in a mastermind of other speakers trying to figure out how to get all our stuff online. And they were very much getting stumped with the tech side of things, as all of us who aren't really techies do. So we decided to pivot and do a tech done for you company. And we've been doing that since about 2015 and helping small, medium, and large. Well, I call them small, medium, and large. So from solopreneurs to multi-million-dollar companies to be able to set up their tech, their marketing tech in particular, even if they already have in the bigger companies a marketing department and a tech department. We kind of fill in that gap in between where everybody's speaking the same language and their data about their clients are all in the same spot. We can totally go into that. But to really back up the bus, very first time I got into business, I was 23 years old. I was living up in the Arctic Circle, and I decided to start not only 1, but 3 businesses. And that was my foray into the whole world of entrepreneurialism. It was super fun and chaotic and crazy.
I love it. So inspiring. I'm glad that you walked us through that journey. And I know it's good to hear, because for the audience listening and watching, this is something that we're consistently saying in this show. When people come on, they're like, listen, and I say it all the time, we didn't wake up like this yesterday. You were 23, you had 3 businesses. I remember when I had my first business, I was 13 years old. I was making homemade Rice Krispies treats at home and selling them at school with my best friend. And so the entrepreneurial desire, the really truly the desire to want to do something different is all within us. And I'm so glad that we're here, Michelle, to ignite that in our listeners' ears to know that it's possible. And so you have this company that helps small, you said small, right? Small, medium, large companies with their tech. From what I understand, and correct me if I'm wrong, you mentioned that you are in the automation part of the marketing side of things. I'll tell you, for me, just an experience, because I need you to help me out and anybody listening. I've always been so, I haven't been attracted to the automation other than the email automation. And you're probably going to look at me right now, Michelle, and say, you're in marketing. How could you not love automation? I feel like it's so
I would never.
I tried it, but I really want to hear your point of view because it does help. It helps us business owners, obviously, with our time, because time is so precious. It also helps us scale. But for whatever reason, I'm always like, it's so impersonal to have like this thing automated, talking to my audience. I'm so a people person. Tell us a little bit about, have you ever heard anybody say that to you?
Oh, absolutely.
What do you say to that?
That's why we do what we do, is because nobody else wants to do it.
I love it. And so how do you address that, the whole thing of, automation is impersonal?
Oh, well, if it's done wrong, you're right, it is. And that's part of the issue, is a lot of people will automate things and they will distance themselves from their audience in doing so. And that's not what we want to create. What we want to create is the ability for you to be able to get to your audience when they want you to. So the issue is, if somebody's searching for you at 3:00 in the morning, you're not going to answer your phone and go, oh yeah, I'm totally here for you. I'm like, no, click the button, watch a video, you'll be fine. And that's when they want the automation as well, right? At 3:00 in the morning, they don't really want to talk to you. They just want to get some information about you when they had time to do the thing that they're doing. And you want to be able to have something right there, right then, that they can consume when they're ready to do it. Obviously, they have time at that point, and it's not about you and your schedule and when you have time to meet them. It's when their interest is piqued and when they want something. And if they want your thing at that time and it's not available, and you don't have any videos to click, you don't have any opt-ins, or you don't have any material for them to consume, they'll just go into somebody else and they'll go find what they want, and somebody else that'll satisfy that need. So that's when it becomes really important to have an idea of who your ideal client is and what their ideal journey is to you. So
stop wasting hours trapped behind the keyboard when you could be spending time building relationships, attracting new leads, and nurturing your clients. My content marketing agency, Cadet Media Boutique, specializes in VIP custom video editing and graphic design for coaches, consultants, and service providers just like you who want to show up and stand out online. Visit my website, martinecadet.com/podcast, so you can get started today with your online presence. I look forward to supporting you.
As we like to say, or as my dad used to say, once is an accident, twice is a mistake, 3 times is a habit. So if there's something that you're doing 3 times, you can automate that. If you're answering the exact same question the exact same way, you can automate that. And people want you to automate that. What they don't want you to automate is the part where it's you. When they want you, they want you. So there's a time when you're going to be creative. There's a time when you're going to be spontaneous. There's a time when you're going to express your humanity and your humanness. That's when you want the people doing the things that they do, and not the systems doing the things that they do. When it comes to things that people hate doing, like going, hey, your credit card expired. Can you get your credit card number? You don't want to be doing that. They don't want you to be doing that. You want an email being sent out going, hey, your email or your credit card expired. Do you have a new date? Click here to update your card. They just click there, they update the card, and nobody's worse for wear. It's those things that we don't want to do that you want to automate. And it's the opportunities where people are asking for something that is repeatable that you want to be able to give to them.
Mm. I love that you gave us that tip here, and I'm gonna take that one with me. If you're doing it 3 times, that means you have to automate it. As soon as you said that, I was like, oh my gosh, I have this, I have that, I have this. This is running to my head. I'm like, she's so right. I totally can automate this. And so let's be honest. There are tons of tools out there, Michelle. Even myself, sometimes I'm like, I'm drowning. There's just way too much of those tools that
There's an app for that.
right? Apps and all this craziness. So I guess, especially for the one listening that's like, yeah, Michelle, yeah, Martine, I kind of have some sort of automation happening. I could do better, but where do I start? So the question I have for you, Michelle, is give us a scenario for the small business owner. A lot of my clients, particularly, are solopreneurs, right? They're juggling. Some of them are juggling a day job and doing their thing, like I used to back in the days, right? And I get it, it's a lot. And they've tried so many things. So give us an example of working with someone like that. And what does that look like? Because I'm sure he or she is listening right now and watching and saying, okay, this is juicy. How do I get Michelle to help me and clean up my hot mess?
Well, there's actually two types of businesses, and we got to understand that first. One is a simple business that is intended to make you, say, 100 grand a year, right? If you want to become a coach and you want to have 10 clients at 10 grand, you have, you work about 10 hours a week. Life is grand. Like that's kind of the idea. And it's like, I don't want the hassle. I don't want the complaints. I need a cell phone and a merchant account. And that's easy, right? And if that's the goal, stick to that as a goal and don't let anybody tell you that it needs to be any more complicated than that, because it really doesn't. And then enjoy the other 30 hours of your week to go and do things that you love doing. That's what life is meant to be. And it really, no matter what anybody says, does not need to be any more complicated than that. Then there's the other crazies like me that go, yeah, but I want to have 50 employees and I want to, right? And if that's the kind of business that you're wanting to build, then you're going to have to understand that there are certain things that you're going to have to hire out. And anything that's not in your wheelhouse should be hired out. And it should be hired out to a person that's an expert in that area. So if you want somebody to take over your email and your travel arrangements and all of the administrative things in your day, you want to have somebody that thinks administratively. There are people that love organizing things. They love putting them into alphabetical order. They love putting them in chronological order. They love putting them in color coordinated order. That's the way their brain works, and that's the way they function. They will follow you around all day long. And, the clouds part, the angels sing, life is great. You don't have to do those things. When it comes to the tech, you really don't want your marketing person to do that. And you really don't want your VA to do that, because you want them to be creative. You want them to come up with content. You want them to come up with gorgeous looking websites that are intriguing and that draw people in, and they understand the psychology of that. That's a totally different personality than somebody that speaks in acronyms and loves to talk about cPanels and SSL. As soon as you start getting that stuff, that's a totally different personality type. And those kind of people love doing the analytics of your Google ads. They love knowing what your click-through rates are. They love knowing all sorts of other funky things that you want to separate. And that's when you start building your team, is you start understanding, okay, we need creatives to come up with creative content, to do all of the things that entice people. You want to have the technical aspect of things, so that your opt-in forms make sure that the data is going to your database and you have clean data and all sorts of the techie stuff. You want to have the organizational person that loves organizing things A to Z. And you want to have the figurehead of the business, which is probably you. And you're the one going, hey, I had this great idea and I think we should do blah. And if you start your day with, hey, I had this great idea and I think we should, you're the you're the spearhead of the company. You're the decisive one that goes, yes, we're doing this. No, we're not doing that. And your team follows you around and goes, yeah, we can do that.
Oh, I love that. See, this is what I always try to, even for myself and other business people that I talk to. Systems, what I'm hearing is systems for your business. as long as you want it to be successful, is important. And yes, I'm with you on that 150%, if not more, Michelle, that as the business owner, you want to be the visionary. You want to be the one that's constantly visualizing. And the creation, once you know, like you shared, the journey, what you want to happen, the tools are there, right? So this is so important for you listening and watching. Michelle and I are excited that you're watching all the way to this point and tuned in all the way to this point, because that means to us that you're invested, whether you've already started looking at your systems or perhaps thinking of starting something or whatever it is. There's something about this conversation that is attracting you. And we're excited about that, because before we end this episode, Michelle, I'm going to throw back the mic at you, well, this way, so that you could share the details of what's in the show notes to support us in regards to marketing and putting it into life, so that we can, right, be able to create an influence and impact like we want to, despite perhaps not having a big team yet, or whatever that looks like. And so share with us what's in the show notes so we know to make sure to click and connect with you.
Well, first of all, I want to emphasize how important it is as a business owner that you are visualizing and creating your business. So you want to visualize, what is it going to look like a year out? Do I want to do a 3-day course that makes $100,000 in that weekend? Okay, then you create it. You make a plan of reverse engineering. What is it going to take to be able to do that? What kind of email campaigns? What kind of landing pages? What kind of whatever's it might be? And how do you garner the following to be able to create that? So it's all about visualizing and creating and making sure that you have a supportive team that has kind of done it, been there. They know what kind of elements you need to be able to do that, and make it as simple and easy as possible. Huge points. So in the show notes, you are going to find a gift from us for a website audit. And basically what it'll do is it'll give you a report, about 36 to 46 pages on your red lights, your green lights, and your yellow lights. So just like in traffic, Google will let your green lights mean you are doing awesome. We're going to let your traffic flow to your site. We're going to make sure that people can find you. Anything that's in the yellow zone is slowing your traffic down, and Google is making sure that only certain people find it because there's something going on there. If it's a red light, your traffic stopped. Google says, nope, nobody's going over there. You want to make sure that you get those things taken care of right away. So it does kind of, it's not just about having an awesome, pretty site. You got to make sure that Google's happy with it too. So we'll give you all those gifts so that you can go and check them out.
That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that. That's very, very important. I know so many people are like, yeah, I have a beautiful website. Is it working? And so thank you for providing this tool for us. And for you listening and watching, check the show notes so you can click and give your website a checkup, right? Because, you know, you constantly want to make sure that you're up to date with your business. Things are constantly changing and you're evolving too. And so you have to make sure that you check in every now and then. And that's a great tool, Michelle. Thank you. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thank you.
And so this is the end of the episode, but this is not the end of Michelle's journey with us here on this show. I cannot wait to have you back as we continue to support our listeners to visualize and continue to create. There's so much that you brought up in this conversation we had that I believe needs to be opened up more, such as outsourcing. How do you do that, right? That's a big question. Are you ready to outsource? That's another question. And so, you know, these are all specific topics that I believe anyone would want to tap in and get more support with when it comes to building what they're visualizing. And so thank you for coming on the show.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
I'm definitely going to be grabbing your gift. Thank you as well. And so this is the end. And we are so happy that you were able to listen all the way to this point and watching us. Maybe you're watching us on the app or on YouTube, wherever you're tuning in. Regardless, we're excited that you were here. And with that, make sure you share this with your friends and family and anybody else that you feel needs to tune in. and leave us a review. Connect with Michelle as well, and let her know that you were tuned in this episode. Until then, keep visualizing and keep creating. We'll see you in the next episode. Bye. You have just listened or watched the Visualize and Create show. Don't forget to download our app and make sure to leave us a review. And before I go, I do want you to visit my website, martinecadet.com. Browse around. There's a lot of stuff in there. I have a store. I also have great services available for you so that you can visualize and create anything that you want. I will see you in the next episode.